Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can sync OneSuite to Google Sheets. So all your contacts from OneSuite can automatically get put on a spreadsheet in Google Sheets. It's a live updating spreadsheet with all the contacts you're adding in OneSuite, all the changes you're making, and you can create a two-way sync. So if you want to hop into that spreadsheet, make a few changes, it'll send those updates as well. It's a great tool for spreadsheet people. You can create charts, reports, get insights about how your business is doing. Let me show you how to set this up. First thing you're going to do is go to apination.com and click on Start Syncing. Once you do that, you're going to see all the apps you can automate through API Nation. Scroll on down till you get to O for OneSuite. Click on that. You can see all the apps that you can automate specifically with OneSuite. So I'm going to scroll down till I get to Google Sheets, which is what we're syncing today. And you can see there's two syncs available: Google Sheets into OneSuite and OneSuite into Google Sheets. So if you have a Google Sheet sitting around full of contacts that you keep meaning to add to your CRM, this is great for you. Google Sheets into OneSuite. I'm going to set this one up though, OneSuite into Google Sheets. It's going to take all my contacts from OneSuite, put it in a live updating Google Sheet where I can go create reports and charts that will continue to update as I work in OneSuite. So the first step is to sign into your API Nation account. If you don't have one, you can click here to create one, or you can click here to create one or sign in with Google, which is what I'm going to do. Now we're going to connect both the apps. First, we're going to connect OneSuite. It looks like I've already connected it, so I can just select that account if I want. If you haven't connected it, hit the connect button. It's going to ask you for four things: your OneSuite username, password, and email address, so how you sign into OneSuite, and then a label, which is just, you can put your name, your team's name, your office's name, just the name for the connection. Once you add those and hit the connect button, you're going to do the similar thing with Google Sheets. Hit the connect button and just choose the Google account you want to connect. And this is where the Google Sheet will live, in the Google Drive of this Google account. So once you do that, a few options here when we're setting up the sync. Do I want to sync all contacts from OneSuite? Yeah, I want to get everybody from in OneSuite into this Google Sheet. And then you're going to name the Google Sheet. I'm just going to call it OneSuite Contacts. And hit subscribe. We're on a final page here. We haven't yet activated the sync. We're sending all the contacts from OneSuite into Google Sheets. A couple options here. The filter, if I want to filter based on any of these fields from OneSuite, I could do that. So maybe I want to build a spreadsheet of only people who work at a certain company. I could do that. I could say company name equals API Nation. And then I could activate the sync, and it's just going to create a Google Sheet full of everybody who works at API Nation that's in my OneSuite. And it's going to do it on an ongoing basis. So it's like an updating roster. So I could do that. That's especially helpful for, offices, real estate offices. They can just keep track of everybody who's added to OneSuite. So you could do it based on company name. You could do it based on postal code, city, street address. Ton of different options here. Most people just want no filter. They're just trying to get everybody from OneSuite, from their CRM into that Google Sheet so they can start making some reports. Mapping, we do all this for you. Basically everything we can get from OneSuite, we're going to go ahead and pull it and put it in that spreadsheet. Hit activate the sync, and it's going to start creating that spreadsheet full of contacts. There it is. It's going to pull over batches of contacts from OneSuite into Google Sheets. So it could take a while to completely catch up with everything you've been doing in OneSuite and have this Google Sheet totally caught up. But let's hop into Google Drive. Let me show you what this looks like. So here is my sheet so far, and you can see it's got the surname, given name, birthday, email address, all the stuff added from OneSuite. And I can create charts or reports on any of this stuff. So maybe if I wanted to create a chart based on city or zip code and see what are my hot cities, what are my hot zip codes, I could do that. Or if I wanted to chart exactly, how many of my leads have email addresses, I could do that also. So that is syncing from OneSuite into Google Sheets. But I'm going to go back to API Nation because you can also sync Google Sheets back into OneSuite. There's a few different options here. At the top of the video I mentioned, maybe you have a bunch of people in a Google Sheet somewhere and you want to get those people into your CRM. So that's a great option. Maybe you want to set up a two-way sync. So in that case, you would connect this spreadsheet back into OneSuite, and that way you can make updates in the spreadsheet. You know, you could fix email addresses, you could fix names, and those updates would get pushed back into OneSuite, which can be helpful because it makes it a lot easier to manage some of this data. A third great option, though, is you can connect a Google Sheet that's attached to a Google form. So for example, if you have a Google form and you take it out there and you use it to capture leads, maybe you put it out there at open houses or events, and people fill it out with their name, their email. All that stuff goes into responses, and you can say, actually, I want all that stuff to go into a spreadsheet. And I'm going to call this my OneSuite Sync spreadsheet. So I'm going to create that spreadsheet. There we go. And you can see it has the headers from the form. So it's getting state, city, zip, first, last email, phone number. And I am just going to connect this to OneSuite so that when somebody fills out my form at an open house or an event, it goes into this spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet is getting monitored to get pumped into OneSuite. So let's put that together. I'm going to connect again Google Sheets and OneSuite. It's going to ask me for a URL of a spreadsheet. So let's grab that URL. That's just the address here. I'm going to hit Control C or Command C to copy it. Come back here, hit Control V or Command V to paste it in there and hit subscribe. And then I'm just going to map it out. So I'm going to come down here to mapping, and I'm going to start adding stuff. So I need that email address here. I need the first name here, last name, all the information I want to pull over from that Google Sheet, the information people are putting in that form, and map it up to OneSuite. Remarks, let's put comments in there. So there we go. And once you're all done with that, you're just going to activate the sync. And now it's monitoring that spreadsheet so that anytime somebody fills out that form, they go in the spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet sends them right into OneSuite. You don't have to do anything. So there you go. There's a ton of awesome options and combinations you can use to make your life a lot easier by connecting OneSuite to Google Sheets. You can create charts and reports of your OneSuite contacts and leads. You can have people from a Google form synced right into OneSuite. You can get all the people you've had from a past app that's just been sitting in a spreadsheet somewhere into OneSuite, so you can start using that tool to follow up with them. I had a ton of different options to start creating deals using these two apps together as one. If you have any questions or need any assistance setting up this sync, give us a phone call, shoot us an email. We're API Nation, and we're connecting the world's applications.